very impressive. And I'm not just saying like that's impressive for a touring bike, or that's impressive for whatever. That's fast. That's fast for anything. Sean here from Srkcycles.com, and I am back. I've been on a trip, but I'm back. And we have a 2014 BMW k1600GT. Let's take a real quick look at this bike. Single-sided swing arm. It's got the center stand underneath. Check this out. It's a flat 6. Big old long 6. We got the fog lights with this cool LED lights. These things are over 400 bucks from BMW. The bike's a little dirty. Do not mind that. ABS, of course. I love the BMW K-bike front suspension. It's not your normal shocks. A little tougher than that. Ooh, what is this? Heated seat? Yes. Turn that on. It's cold out. Beautiful bike. Let's take this thing for a spin. And this one also has the GPS unit inside there. You can actually, you press that and it comes out of the windshield. Alright, so let's mess with the modes a little bit. One, heated seats. I got the heated seat on. Let me figure out how to do the heated grips. They actually might be in the menu. Don't know what that is. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Mode. So I forget what this thing is, but it's like kind of an iDrive type of thing, where you scroll this, you scroll through the menu, you page through, you click it, you click back. There I am up here on the navigation. Currently I have it on rain mode. Let's change that. Road. Let's put on dynamic mode. And then let's go. Now if you'll remember, very touchy throttle. You got a lot of bike here that you got to manage, a lot of power, somewhere around 175 horsepower. These things are monsters. And like I mentioned in the thumbnail, they put this motorcycle, if you guys remember from one of my earlier videos, this is the same engine that they use in the T-Rex Champagne, I don't know how they pronounce it, but in the three-wheel T-Rex. Go check out that video. It's the exact same engine they use in the three-wheeled T-Rex, and it's unmodified. It's same gauge and everything, and it is incredibly fast, even though it has like a 315 back tire, and that thing will cut loose super, like in very easily. So hopping on this bike, I'm gonna go straight. I think this bike was doing 0 to 60 in somewhere around like 2 seconds, maybe 2.5. It was quick. It was definitely quick. A very impressive bike. Now what I've ridden a bunch of the older K1300s, and what I remember about those is they were wide. They were so wide and big, they were extremely intimidating. They still had these same like squishy grips, which a lot of people like. But they were, and I ride a lot of big bikes. I'll jump on anything. I'll jump on anything and ride it. But when first couple times I jumped on one of those big, k1600 GTLs, I was nervous. But they definitely slimmed down, even though it's a bigger displacement. They definitely slimmed the bike down. It's not as wide. It's not as intimidating. The front's not super huge. And And another big complaint people had about the 1300 was that it was kind of a dog. It just didn't have that big motorcycle oomph to it. For most people, it wasn't a big deal, but it was definitely a complaint. No one's complaining about that since they started doing the 1600. Like I said before, this is an inline 6. And you'll recognize all these gauges and buttons from all the other BMW bikes. It's got the cruise control. You can take... One of the coolest things about BMW is that they keep on upgrading every year, somewhere around there. They keep on upgrading the GPS unit so that you don't buy a 2000. So you know, you don't buy a 2014, which is like iPhone 5S, in 2018 when you're like, this is dumb. They use the same harness, the same casing, and the same plug-in. And this is with the K bikes and the GS bikes, and then you can just keep on stepping up. And they're expensive, they're like $800, but it's better than just not having one. You know, if you ever hop in like an older Mercedes, like a 2008 Mercedes, or even like an older like BMW. I got a friend that's got an old BMW. It's a 99 or a 2000. And it's got had nav in it. But it's just like the funniest looking nav. You know, and you use it because like, hey, it's nav, but it would be awesome if you could buy a newer nav unit and stick it in there and it would still fit. And that's what BMW's done with their motorcycles. And I think it's a great idea. So this has different modes. You got comfort mode. It also tells you the PSI in each tire, which is super awesome. Right now we're rocking 42. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, but that sounds about right to me. We also have the radio, and one of the coolest features, check this out. Look at that. And that's got a pretty big range. It's about 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches. I mean, that's like a 10-inch range. Most of the windshields don't move up that much. They move up like that much. This is a big range. This is like this. That's the difference between you replacing your windshield because you want something different and you not replacing it. I mean, it's a pretty big range. I'm going to get on it a little bit. We'll get it in my hand. All right. Wow. Very impressive. And I'm not just saying like that's impressive for a touring bike, or that's impressive for whatever. That's fast. That's fast for anything. If I had a Corvette sitting next to me, we'd be whoa, ducking it out, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm pulling out, you know, it'd be close. That's fast. Power to weight ratio is very impressive on this bike. Let's see what else. Let's click through the menu. Okay, here we go. Here's how I can change. No, go back to that. There we go. No, normal. Let's scroll down. Let's do sport. All right, what this is doing is this is modifying the suspension, I believe. I have not read any manuals. I like to try to figure it out. Ooh, free couches. I like to try to figure it out as I go. This is also a 6-speed, of course. As of 2018, every big touring bike now has 6 speeds. Thank you, Mr. Honda and the Goldwing. The Goldwing's been a 5-speed for the past 300 years, including in 2017. And then in 2018, they're like, fine, we'll give them the 6-speed. I don't know what they were waiting for, but they didn't really need it. But whatever. They should have just skipped the 6-speed and just went to a 7-speed. Who are we kidding? So I have not tried the radio, but it's a BMW. What do you expect? It's gonna be great. And I love the color of this bike. Down there, some type of plug-in port, driver heated gear. I don't know what these things do. Maybe these are the radio. Oh, yep, these are the radio. Source. It's when you press source, it's got option for auxiliary, AM, USB, satellite, and then back to auxiliary. So very impressive bike. I love the ergonomics. I'm 6'2". As I recall, my shins would touch the fairings of the older K-bikes. I'm not doing that. I feel spaced out. I got plenty of space. I got about 3 inches between my shin and the fairing. And what's nice is I'm completely covered up with fairing. So I'm sitting here, that's covering my top, these are covering my shins. You could ride this thing in the rain and most likely not get wet at all. So the ergonomics are extreme. What are you doing up here? All right, the ergonomics are extremely comfortable. This thing has power everywhere. Everywhere you could think of to have power, this thing has it. Top end, low end, mid-range, it just moves. This is the type of bike that you find yourself cruising on the highway, you know, and you start thinking, oh, man, that guy's going slow. Oh, that guy's going really slow. And then you realize that you're passing kids who are drag racing their cars like they're just standing still, and you're like, wow, why is that guy going so slow? But he's racing another guy, and you realize you're going 150 miles an hour, and you're just cruising, kicking back, drinking coffee, shooting text. No, don't be shooting text. This bike has that much power. The cool thing about BMWs is they're very technologically advanced, but they're not super service intensive, you know, as much as like a Ducati or an Aprilia. And they're extremely reliable bikes. Guys, I'm loving this bike. As always, check in the description below to see prices. This bike is currently for sale. To see prices and all that good stuff. So our Bikes and Beards gear. To see we're also doing a bike giveaway. Check out that. And remember, it's not what you're riding, but where are you going? What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles, and thanks for watching the video. Click here to subscribe. Click here to see more content. And as always, check out the description box to see our latest inventory and our killer deals, to see how to win a free motorcycle, and also to see our latest Bikes and Beards gear. We'll see you guys later. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.